Welcome to Afreeze Concept TV. The news headlines. Tinubu is a lazy leader, just like other presidents. African Action Congress Obasanjo visit Ishola, excite cab driver, others in United Kingdom. Tinubu is a lazy leader, just like other presidents. AAC. Source: Sahara Reporters. The African Action Congress (AAC) has called on Nigerians to rise and resist the suffering meted out to them by President Bola Tinubu's government for no justifiable or special reasons. The Lagos State Chairman of the AAC, Ayoyinka Oni, who made the call in a statement on Saturday, said that Nigerians have spent the past 50 days of Tinubu's administration in pain, confusion, and slavery, and unless they rise, fight, and resist the suffering, they will continue to suffer. Tinubu, like Buhari, is just an old, terrible analog, thinking entitled tyrant who is from the south. He is more bold in carrying out all the terrible policies against the people because he feels he has the South in his palms, since resistance mostly starts from the South on issues like this. But he would be disappointed. Oni said that what he would have done in his first 50 days in office as the president is to expose and stop all the corruption in the oil sector. Moving on to the next headline. Obasanjo visits Ishola, excite cab driver, others in United Kingdom. Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo visited the Nigerian 14th ambassador to the Court of St. James, Tunji Sarafa Ishola, on Wednesday, while on his way back from a Caribbean country. Obasanjo, who arrived shortly after noon, was received by Ishola, some senior diplomats, the defense attaché, and a handful of other staff at the High Commission. "I'm wearing three caps, that of a son, mentee, and an ambassador," Ishola said, during the brief reception in his office. After the reception, Ishola had a closed-door chat with the former president. After the visit, Obasanjo happily posed with a few Nigerians in the diaspora who sighted him outside the imposing Nigerian House building. First was a cab driver who quickly parked on the side road and asked for a selfie on sighting him and the ambassador. He went back to his cab, smiling and saying he just couldn't let the opportunity pass him by. Ishola and the officials walked towards his car, while those coming from the passport section of the commission asked for the photo opportunities on seeing him. UK pledges enhanced synergy with Nigerian Army. The United Kingdom Minister of State for Armed Forces and Veterans, Mr. James Ippi, said the UK government would deepen synergy with the Nigerian military to enhance existing relations between the two countries. Ippi gave the assurance when he led his team on a courtesy call to the Chief of Army Staff, COAS, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, on Wednesday in Abuja. He said that Nigeria remained one of the great friends of the UK, adding that the relationship between the armed forces and particularly the armies of the two countries was very close. According to him, the customs and traditions of the Nigerian army are almost identical to many of the customs and traditions of the British Army. Aregbesola launches APC caucus, mobilizes supporters. The immediate past Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola, on Tuesday, launched a caucus called Omoluabi Caucus within the fold of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State, and reassured of his commitment to the progressive ideals. Speaking at the launch held in Ilesha, Osun State, which attracted members of the party across the state, the ex-Osun State governor, who explained that political parties are an amalgamation of different interests and tendencies, described Omoluabi Caucus as one of the many caucuses within APC in the state. Aregbesola, who further said the Omoluabi Caucus was a union of like minds in the state, stated further, the Omoluabi tendency is a caucus within the All Progressive Congress (APC), one of the caucuses in the state. We are not a faction. We are the genuine foundation members of the party, and we have no intention of abandoning the ship of the party as it navigates the most turbulent waters. So my fellow Nigerians, we have so many things to talk about. Like we have different headlines starting from ASC accusing Tinubu saying he's a lazy leader, which is very interesting because I would really love to talk about it, and to Obasanjo visiting Ishola, um, exciting cab drivers, just making everybody happy. It's lovely. Like I feel like it's a kind gesture, and Obasanjo, as funny and as surprising as that may sound, Obasanjo now goes into a place and people like really want to. Oh well, it has. I won't say it has always been like that, but like Obasanjo being in a place basically, and people would want to like relate to him, take pictures with him, not screaming or shouting at him. I mean, he has literally the biggest farm in Nigeria, if I'm not wrong, and he's really doing well. So okay, so the AAC has called on Nigerians. AAC called on Nigeria, the African Action Congress. They called on Nigerians to stand up and fight for themselves. That this suffering is too much. That if they don't fight for themselves, that this APC government will just use us. That we should fight for ourselves, stand up, voice out, speak for ourselves, fight, defend ourselves. Because this APC people, for the first 50 days that he stayed in office, we did not see his cocoa. We just know that our president Tinubu is busy. Either he's intervening in Niger Republic's issue, or is in another place that is not really wanted. So the AAC is calling out, reaching out to Nigerians, especially the youth, that we need to, in Yoruba, it's being termed as jare, like wise up. That the way he is leading this country, his administration has literally been in pain, confusion, and slavery. And if we don't stand up to fight and resist the suffering, it will continue like this. And really, nobody wants to continue this way. I do not want to continue this way because it's tiring. It's wickedness. I term it as wickedness because if you have the ability to help people, if you have the capacity to assist people, why would you go and pretend, or you would neglect important things? Like, why will you intentionally decide to increase the rate of fuel? Why would you intentionally do things that would make food prices just go high? These are literally the basic things of life. If we have our transportation affordable, we have food to eat affordable, we have fruits at affordable prices. Trust me, even if you are swallowing all the millions in this world, people would not even reason you like that. Just the other day, he appointed ministers, and we were hearing billions of naira for their accommodation. Is it that these people did not have places to stay before they became ministers or what? Like, so many things are going on in this country, and we have questions to ask, but we really do not have the one person that would answer all our questions truthfully. So the AAC is reaching out to Nigerians, telling we Nigerians that we should fight for ourselves, claim our rights, and resist the suffering. Because even the old cassava gari ewa that I was saying that um it would be cheap and would have access to, it is very expensive, I tell you, so expensive. You know, all this talking, when we start, we won't even be able to cover everything up because it's a lot. It's really a lot. So we have few comments, and I will just scroll through few of our comments in our comment section. So +23, I think he wants to remain anonymous. He says APC and its weird president have successfully drawn Nigeria backward in their over 8 years of administration. The unfortunate part of it is that some numbskulls have not seen anything wrong with this infamous government of President Emiloko, which had further added to plight of the Nigerian people, especially the poor masses. No peace for the wicked. Hmm. Oh well, this person is not saying the wrong thing. Like, he's totally correct. Like, the past 8 years has been uh it has been life changing. Let me use that word. Because while President Goodluck Jonathan was still the president, like, personally, I had people that were still in schools, you know, even in the neighboring countries, and the exchange rate was okay. Our naira was still valuable, you know. So compare that time to now, it's safe to say we're living in luxury. Trust me. Like, then, if you had 5,000 naira and you want to get like fuel in your generator, you would use it for over 24 hours. Like, you would use it for at least over 24 hours. But now 5,000 naira fuel cannot even last you 24 hours. Like, it's that bad. So moving on. Chijoka says, "Youths, wake up. This AAC is saying the truth because they will never do anything that making our lives miserable. How can only one person make all the country crying and dying and no one is ready to protest? I will blame you or say that southern part of the country are hating northern leadership. If it's not that removed subsidy, they would have protested and burnt public properties. Wake up from your slumber." Oh well, violence is never